Okay, let's analyze this question, which is actually the preparation for your coming prelim. So there are 3 slices of bread, and these are the conditions given. So which bread should Sandra use to find out if warmth is required for the growth of bread mold? So the answer is quite simple, right? So it's A and C, correct? So you just put A and C. Okay, next, there are 3 lines here. So these lines indicates the surface area of bread covered with bread mold. And they say which of the lines correctly represent the results observed in slice A. So if you look at slice A, what's the condition? It's actually inside the freezer. Okay, we know that for mold to grow, just like for seeds to germinate, 3 conditions are needed. It's called a wow factor, WOW. So warmth, oxygen, and water. So in the freezer, there's absence of warmth. So definitely, if there's absence of warmth, it means that the mold cannot grow, right? So how do you explain this? So you should say line 3. Okay. Line 3 represent that because the slice of bread in the freezer, it does not have warmth. Okay. So line 3, the bread slice A is in a freezer, so it has no warmth, which is needed for mold to grow. As temperature in the freezer is very low, so no mold can grow. So no mold can grow. Okay, done this one. Next. Okay, this is a typical questions. I noticed that many students cannot master this. So this is in the topic of matter. Because matter, we know solid, liquid, gas, right? So what you need to take note is this one. Highlight this part, 300 cubic centimeter, the capacity. Okay, the capacity of this container. So it has 100 cm3 of water. So the remainder would be 200. So they say, what would be the volume of air in the container after the person pump in 50 cm3? So you need to understand that air doesn't have definite volume. So this answer would be 200 cm3. Okay, cm3. So you must write the correct units. Okay, cm3. Okay, next, would the mass of air in the container increase, decrease, or remain the same after 2 pumps of air had entered the container? So in that case, right, because air can be compressed, right, but because air is a matter, so definitely the mass would increase. So you must indicate it increased and then give the reason. Okay, so this will be the reason. Okay, increased. Air is a matter and has mass. Even though its volume does not change. Why it does not change? Because part A, it remains at 200, right? So its mass increases as air is being compressed. Next, application. So this person, he was advised not to pump too much air while inflating the inflatable boat so that it would feel firm and not hard. The hard means overinflated. Firm means it's not overinflated. It was to prevent the boat from tearing while he was paddling under the sun. So you take note of these important keywords, paddling under the sun. So you can annotate here, the sun gives out heat. Okay, by annotating, it will actually helps you to answer the questions. So there's air inside the inflatable boat, right? So the air would gain heat from the heat energy from the sun. Yeah. Okay. So you should say that, yeah, the air expand when heated. So for this answer, you should say the air in the boat would gain heat from the sun and expand, and air take up space. So if there's not enough space, right, it will cause the boat to tear. Okay, so this will be the answer. The air in the boat gain heat from the sun and expand, and air take up space. Not enough space for air, so the boat might tear. Okay, so for this part, you take note. Okay, later I will screenshot and send to all of you. So now you just listen to my explanation. Thank you very much for your kind understanding. Okay, next questions. Okay, let's continue. This. Okay, maybe I screenshot and send to you all first for this few. Let me minimize it. Okay, I'll repeat this one. The first question is here, A and C. Let me increase the size. So it's bread slice A and C. And then next is this part, line 3. Why line 3? Because absence of warm. Okay, absence of warm, so the mole cannot grow, so remain straight. Okay, next, this is under the topic of matter. So it's 200 cm cube because air does not have a definite volume. You occupy the space of the container. So you take note of your chat now. I'm going to send to every one of you the screenshot that I've taken here. This is under Zoom. Hold on first. Let me send. Okay, those new students who have joined the class today, do take note, you must enable your Zoom setting so they can receive file. Okay, you should be able to enable your Zoom setting to receive file. So I've just sent over the 2 screenshots. Yeah, can you check that you have received? Okay, you have received the file. Is Brandon there? Brandon, can you receive the file? Yeah, if you can, you indicate with a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, somebody got problem coming in. Wait. Okay. Brandon, are you online already? Can you receive the file? Okay, let's continue this part. Okay, question 3, you take note, because this question commonly tested is under the concept of water cycle. So you can see there are 2 doctors. One is Dr. Peter, one is Dr. John. And you can see on the right, this part, right? The spectacle remain clear. So you are supposed to explain why Dr. John's spectacle did not fogged up. Okay, why his spectacle did not fogged up. So for fogging to appear, there must be this temperature difference. Okay, so you can see that what has happened. Dr. John's mask, right? It was taped across the nose, bridge, and cheek. So by doing that, when he speaks, the warmer water vapor from his respiration will not be able to escape. Correct? So if you can't escape, you won't contact the cooler surface of the spectacle lens and condense. So this is a 2-mark questions. So this is how you will answer. Let me decrease the size of the font and put it here. Okay, so this will be the answer. It's slightly long. Let me arrange the settings so you can see everything. Okay. Okay, Dr. John's mask taped across the nose, bridge, and cheek. So when he speaks, water vapor cannot escape through the nose, bridge, or cheek. So no warmer water vapor will touch the cooler surface of the spectacle. and lose heat and condense into water vapor. Okay. Okay, maybe this one you change the order slightly, yeah. And lose heat on it. And lose heat to eat and condense into water vapor. Therefore, no fogging out of the spectacle. Okay, this part. Clear? Okay, next part. Okay, when they move outdoor, Dr. Peter observed that there was less fogging. Okay, you take note of this word, because they said less, it's not no. So you underline this part, less fogging on the inner surfaces of his spectacle compared to when he was in the air conditioning room. Can you see this, Dr. Peter? Yeah. So in the air conditioning room, there's more fogging. So when they move outside, he noticed that the fogging is less. Okay, so you have to explain this observation. Okay, because when you move outdoor, the temperature increase, right? So there's a smaller temperature difference between the surrounding air and the temperature of his spectacle. Okay, so let me put it here, easy to see. Okay, so you put it here. The temperature difference of the surrounding air and water vapor is smaller, so that the spectacle lens gain heat from the surrounding and temperature higher than it was in the room. So when the water vapor touches the cooler surface of the lens, it loses less heat. Okay, let me have you simplify a little bit. So generally, you must say that the temperature difference between the surrounding air, the temperature of surrounding air, and his water vapor, because he breathed out, right, his water vapor is smaller, so the spectacle gain less. The spectacle, so the spectacle gain less heat from the surrounding. Okay, I thought, yeah. So the spectacle lens gain less heat from the surrounding. Okay, maybe I put the other. So the water vapor lose less heat. Okay, I changed slightly. Yeah. So the water vapor. So the vapor loses less heat. The water vapor loses less heat. Loses less heat from the surrounding air. Full stop. From the surrounding. Okay, then it was in the room. So when the water vapor touches the coolers, it lost less heat. Causing less fogging. Okay, this part. Okay, I'll repeat that. The difference in temperature of surrounding air and his water vapor is smaller. So when the water vapor, loses less heat to the surrounding air than it was in the room. So when the water vapor touches the cooler surface of the lens, it loses less heat and condense less, causing less fogging. Okay, this part. So this is 1 mark, but the first one on top is 2 marks. So you take note of this. I will screenshot this and send to you. Okay. So this is the third question. Okay, both of these questions earlier, right? This one and this one, commonly tested in prelim exam. So actually, this is a last year's prelim from Raffles Girls Primary School. This question. Okay, then I would pause here to ask you any questions.